And then we have all the things I like. I like food and books and games and anime and music genres, and I like movies and TV shows as well, but I just listed the ones that I commonly saw other people listing in their debut slides. So yeah, I really love pizza. That's like the one thing that I can eat without really thinking much about it, because it doesn't, you know, there's not much to think about. Pizza is the most neutral food of all time. You can eat it for lunch, you can eat it for dinner, you can eat for breakfast, you can eat it as a snack, you can eat it cold, you can eat it hot, you can make it into different things. Have you guys ever heard of pizza fries? If no, now you've heard of it. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, Mew, what are pizza fries? You cut up cold pizza and then you fry them. Well, you actually, I guess you just heat them up in some way or the other, but then they're fry shaped, so they're called pizza fries. I've never actually personally had them, but every single time I see them, I want to cry because of how much I want to eat them, you know? I love pasta. Any types of pasta. Normally, I favor like a normal bechamel with cheese, so just like a very basic white sauce. And yeah, and then I also really love aglio olio and pesto sauce, because like, oh my gosh, those are my favorites so much. I love making aglio olio because it's such a simple pasta, and it really does go very hard because it's all garlicky and has so many spices, and it tastes so good. And honestly, I could eat a huge bowl of it, way more than whenever I want to eat like just normal white sauce pasta, and then it just does not work that well because it's like so heavy. My other favorite foods are soup. Soup is also an all-time meal. You want it to be simple? Soup. You want it to be complicated? Soup. You want it to be flavorful? Soup. You want it to be bland? Soup. The answer for life is soup. More than pizza, and I say it as somebody who loves pizza a lot. So yeah. And rice. I'm vegetarian, so if there are places where I cannot get any food to eat for the fact that they contain animal products, well, specifically meat or meat products, then I go for rice and french fries, because that's, yeah, french fries are also self-explanatory. They're great. They're fried to perfection. They're salty, they're soft, they're crispy, there's so many textures and not enough flavor, I won't lie, but like still really good. They're a staple. If you don't like french fries, I don't know what you're doing. But also, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You do what you want to do, you know? Yeah, and then tempura. I really love vegetables. So this was just an excuse to add the fried vegetable category of food into my lists of food I like. I like a lot of food. I'm a big foodie. Like, that's like one of the things about me that I feel like everyone who knows me should know, is just that I'm really enthusiastic about food. And more often than not, I end up talking about food on my streams especially. Oh my gosh. It is a crime how much I talk about food, and I end up making everyone, including me, hungry. It always happens when I'm super hungry as well, because I end up wanting to eat like an insane amount of food, which I can't eat that much anyway, so I don't know why I insist on it, but yeah. Yeah, I'll probably end up talking about food in like about 10 minutes or so anyways, because I just had breakfast just before debut. So, you know? It's just such a good time to talk about it. I love vegetables though. Like, vegetables are so good. I especially love leafy greens, but just green vegetables in general. I really love okra and cabbage and spinach. Oh my gosh, I love spinach and lettuce. Oh my gosh. I'm literally salivating just thinking about it. But like in general, one of the vegetables I eat the most is onions. It's like really common to have raw onions with food, right? At least here where I live, right? So I end up eating a lot of them, especially if I'm having like rice and lentils, which just means it's an excuse for me to consume like 2 tiny raw onions by myself with 1 bowl of rice. It's I love it. It's insane of us, but I love it. I do. It does like add a different, like, it gives a breath of fresh air, but honestly, onion breath is not fresh. So yeah, take that as you will. I also really love noodles. They're like So versatile. You can make them dry, you can make them in soup, you can make them like into cakes. I don't know why you'd want a noodle cake, but I do know that people have made it, and apparently it tastes good. But to each their own. I don't think I'm a noodle cake person, but if you are, I support you. I do. Yeah, let's go straight into the other categories. Like some random things I really, really love, like a lot, are the colors pink and blue. I feel like that's obvious since my design has so much pink and blue in it. But in case you didn't realize, I really love pink and blue. And the letter G, that's my favorite letter. If you want to know the context, there's actually no actual specific context, but also if you want to go in depth in letter preferences, then go watch my alphabet ranking stream, because yeah, I did that and it was actually pretty fun and funny. And most of the streams happen when I'm really freaking sleep deprived, so they become even more unhinged that way. I love the number 8, by the way. It's my favorite number. It's my lucky number. I was born on the 8th day of the 9th month and everything was perfect at that very moment. I was born on the 7th hour and the 6th minute. Yeah, I know exactly what time I was born. Because if you're not crazy like that, why are you crazy? But also, if you don't want to be crazy, that's completely fine. No one's forcing you. I don't think anyone can force you to be crazy. I mean, they can drive you to insanity, but forcing someone to be crazy doesn't work like that, you know? So, yeah. I love books. I'm a big, like, bookworm. Yeah, that's really all the explanation. I just read whatever I get my hands on. If I'm desperate enough, I will go and read just the back of a shampoo bottle for fun. Because I cannot live without reading books. I crumble in the face of not being able to read. Where, you know, okay, this is a funny story, but no, it's not really funny as much as it is tragic. Like, a few days ago, I wasn't able to use a week and a half ago, the reading application that I normally use decided it would crash and wouldn't work. And I usually am on like rotation system where for a period of time I'll read a specific genre or specific type of book or specific like language, and then I'll shift into another thing if I feel up to it later on, you know? So imagine my surprise when what I'm normally reading just decides to die. For 3 days, I was close to breaking. I was just like, if I don't get to read a book, I will kill someone. I will kill people and it will be messy and it will be bad. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I love books. Yes, books are yes. So is music. I listen to everything that I come across. Is that a good way to put it? I listen to a lot of music, but like the music that I listen to the most often is usually pop music, because that's the one that catches my eye the most. Plus, I personally I like writing pop. So, yeah, that's like mostly the reason why I end up listening to pop a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And then, okay, all the games I've played recently were all on stream. So all of these except for like Hades and I think Wall World are ones that I haven't played on stream. I didn't even mention all the other ones because I ran out of space, you know? But okay, the ones that I really liked recently were Gris, Sayonara Wild Hearts, which was last year's, I think, first or second game or something. But yeah, I really want to replay that because it's such a fun game and it has such nice music and it's so much like... It's really interesting. It has lore and it has pretty visuals and it has nice music, and what else do you want? And also has good gameplay. That goes without saying. I really like Little Nightmares because I'm a horror person, but I don't get scared of horror. I just sort of end up laughing because I find it incredibly hilarious. So Little Nightmares was a nice experience in the sense that it wasn't scary, but it was still like spooky enough where I would keep being interested. Inside was just confusing. The whole time that I played the game, I was just so confused as to what the heck was going on. but I still really liked it. Because it was an interesting game nonetheless. And it had some like challenging puzzles. So I actually really enjoyed being able to play all of those. Yeah. And then I played Slime Rancher, and oh my god, it's such a hypnotic game. It just makes me go like all hazy-eyed, and I'm just like, I can only think of the game. I'm not even paying attention to the rest of the world. Because yeah, that's the way it should be anyways. Wallward. Okay, this one got really famous when it came out. But I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. But I bought it because I was like, I'm impulsive. And I really wanted a game that was like that. And Wallward's really fun. I won't lie. Like, I haven't played it in a while. But when I started playing it, I was just like hooked on it. I was playing it like a lot. Every single time that I wanted to relax and play a game, Wallward... Oh, okay. No! Wallward... Why does that happen? Dang it. Anyways, Wallward was my first pick. I don't know what happened. Just ignore it, right? It's fine, right? You guys didn't see much. Anyways, so... yeah, Wallward was my first pick the first couple of months that I was playing it. But right now, I have a different game I've been obsessed with, like Roots of Yggdrasil and Wizard with a Gun. Both of those games are excellent, by the way. I'm having a lot of fun playing them. So... but I will play them on stream soon, so we can enjoy it together. But then other games I really like are Valorant and Apex. Now, I can't say I'm much of an FPS player because I don't really play FPS a lot, except for Valorant and Apex. And I got into Valorant mostly because a few of my, well, not few, but like my sister was playing it, and then one of my good friends was playing it. And I wanted to spend more time with my good friends. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll learn how to play it. And I did learn. And while I can confidently say that I'm quite average, it's still a lot of fun to play it. And then I like Apex just because it's Apex. I've seen a lot of people playing it. So when I was like, okay, fine, let me just get into it, you know? And then I played it with my friends Hex and Honey. And oh my gosh, it is so much fun to play with friends. When you can goof off and say stupid stuff and then like act as if you know what you're doing. Because all of us are pretty bad at the game and kept dying like 20 seconds into the game. Especially if we were like met with enemies. So yeah. And then, you know, Gris, which is self-explanatory. The game itself is beautiful. The music is amazing. The story itself is also really, really, really pretty. Oh my gosh, really, really pretty game. Not recently, but I've known about how the same game studio is developing another game, and I really want to play it. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but I saw the trailer and I was like blown away because it looked just as good, if not better than Gris, okay? And Gris itself has a bunch of like little things about it that you would want to get to know, and it's pretty fun. And then yeah, I just really like Gris. I just recently replayed it, so if anyone's interested in checking that out, go ahead and do it. I played the whole game in one stream, which was like a lot of stamina is required to finish a game in one stream, guys. I keep thinking that I want to do it. I want to play more games in one sitting, but it is so much effort and so much brain energy required. And that's like with a game like Gris, which is completely linear. You don't have to do anything at all. And there's a few puzzles, but they're not like impossible. They're pretty straightforward, in fact. So I don't know why it took that much energy out of me. But then again, they do say that like streaming games is different from just playing them. So maybe that's the reason. But yeah, Ori 1 and 2. I want to replay those games, I won't lie. But it's so daunting when the first time that I played both of those games took like so many streams to complete. And that's where I wasn't even playing them outside of streams. And the game itself is pretty dang difficult, but it's really fun to play. It's very challenging. If you're somebody who's just started gaming, I don't recommend it because you would literally die. But it's a fun Metroidvania. I appreciate the story and the visuals. They're a bit flashy, but not in a bad way. It's just it's quite distracting if you don't pay attention way. Plus coming up with your own lore for like random stuff that keeps happening to you, like dying to thorns. Which, yeah, I totally made up a whole god, like Thorn God, and made like, I had a fling with him, but then I was like, oh no, he probably doesn't, you know. Anyways, the lore itself, I don't remember because it's been a while, but I'm sure we'll make new ones whenever I replay it. But yeah, both of them were fun. Ori 1 was definitely more like chase sequencing, and it had a lot more like peculiarities, but I just imagine that's because it was their first game and they hadn't figured out all of the systems they wanted to implement yet. The second game definitely came off as way more polished, way more challenging, a lot more difficult in few ways, and there were a lot of boss fights. I did not like the boss fights. I am bad at boss fights. So, yeah. I know, right? Ballmew is so cute! You just want to squish her and make her eyes pop out and, yeah, fling her around. Just abuse her. But, like, in a loving way, because cuteness aggression exists, and yeah. But yeah, she just floats in the air. She's super cute. I can never forget the Ori boss fights. Like, the amount of times that I ended up ending a stream stuck in the same exact fight that I started in, it was actually kind of tragic. But yeah. And then there's Hoa, which I also recently replayed. It is still as good of a... I mean, abuse her, but like, lovingly. But like, in a, oh my gosh, cuteness aggression way. Not in a, oh my gosh, she you know, like, I want to hurt you way. So, yeah. But yeah, Hoa is a cute game. I mean, the story itself is also pretty nice, but the last part still pisses me off because, oh my gosh, the last little, like, level where they go round and round and up and down and upsy daisy and all kinds of weird shenanigans happening that make you want to go like, oh my god, my head hurts, because it's actually that complicated. But the rest of the game is really fun. It's cute. It has like a Ghibli feel to it, so if you like Ghibli, you definitely like it. But I don't think it's for everyone because of how challenging the last part of the game is, which is just before like the best part of the game, I would say, where the end comes in and you see all of these like cute, you know, like the whole story play out in front of your eyes. So yeah. Carto. This one's also kind of self-explanatory. I like puzzle games. And this was a lot of fun because it was a different puzzle game than I'd seen before. So yeah, that's saying as if I played a lot of puzzle games, but in my experience and like research, it was different. And I liked it. It was also really cute. The music was nice. The story was alright. I wouldn't say the story was spectacular, but it wasn't like it was a bad story either, you know? Like, it was a good story. It wasn't like blowing me away, but it was a good story. Muse Dash is also self-explanatory. It's like music related, so I really like it. All the music in the game is so stunning. And then they always have fun like collabs going on, which makes me think of why do I not play more Muse Dash on stream? Because oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity, because oh my gosh, they're really good. The game is really freaking fun. I play it when I'm really frustrated and I feel better because I'm like, wow, achievement unlocked, you know? Because you get better as you play it. It's true. Hades, I haven't gotten out of Tartarus yet, so I can't say I know much about the game. However, in a few hours of playing it, because I played on and off, because I can't really sit through a lot of it, but I do enjoy it. It's really fun. It's addictive. You want to keep coming back to it. It definitely is different. My sister started playing it after I did, because she decided, you know, she's like, I'm okay with her using my Steam account and all the games I have, because I have a lot of them and they'd be wasted if I was the only one that played them, you know? Because I don't have that much time. I just included the games that were on top of my head, but also Genshin just hasn't been as interesting recently, so can't say. I haven't played it in like a month and a half, so I don't think it should be included in the list of favorite games. The same reason why I didn't include Star Rail, because I don't play it enough to actually, you know about it. Plus, I don't even build any of the characters. I just sort of play extremely casual without any, like, work put in at all. In fact, the idea of putting work in makes me mad, so yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, I haven't talked about Stardew Valley. To be fair, my first experience with the game was not as fun as I wanted it to be. And I was convinced that I wasn't going to like it for quite a while. And then my, like, friends forced me to get it because they were like, well, specifically Hex, where she was like, if you don't play Stardew Valley, how can you live, kind of. Well, she didn't exactly say that, but it gave, like, the vibes were those, you know? Where she was like, if you don't play it, you don't forget about being alive kind of vibes, you know? And I love her for that. She's so passionate about this game. She really is. But yeah. But then I really enjoyed the game after I started playing it all over again, actually knowing some of the stuff that I did know after I started playing it, you know, properly. Plus, like, Hex kept helping out. I say helping out, but more like she was getting frustrated at the side because I didn't know what I was doing. Again, love her for that. It's actually pretty funny watching her be frustrated, so I say it's worth it. And then we have all the anime I like, which is a lot of anime, but these are the ones that I really liked when I watched them. Kaicho wa Maid-sama, okay? That was the second anime I'd ever watched. I was obsessed with it. Still am. Literally best characters, so hilarious, so memorable. I read the whole manga because I was that obsessed. And then Kami-sama Hajimemashita, I spelled it wrong again. Why does no one call me out on it? Holy shit, I really spelled 2 or 3 things wrong here. Wow, okay. Anyways, Kami-sama Kiss was also one of the first few animes I'd ever watched, which is why they're so memorable, but I also downloaded the first and the second season fully. It's still on my hard drive, guys. It's a really cute show. It's like, you know, shoujo, so like lovely, adorable, love the romance, love the everything about it actually. Yeah. Both of the first 2 animes, like, I really liked them when I watched them, and I would keep going back to watch them, and they're like kind of like my comfort shows. But I don't watch them nearly enough anymore to call them that anymore. Because, like, recently my comfort show has been Hospital Playlist. For a while. It's been Hospital Playlist because it's such a nice show. You know, it's such a nice K-drama. I really love that one. Shonen Maid. If you haven't seen this one, please go watch it. It's so good. The story is so good. I love it so much. It's so good. I was always so sad that they didn't have any new seasons, because, like, the story itself is so nice and cute and adorable, really heartfelt, and, you know, just it's full of found family vibes, a lot of, like, love put into the show as well. Like, oh my gosh, that anime is literally one of my favorites in forever. Kaguya-sama. I cannot emphasize how much I love Kaguya-sama because it's so funny. It's hilarious. It's amazing. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I know it's not for everyone. Definitely the humor is a bit... It gets a bit old, especially if you don't watch it all at once. If you come back to it, it might get a bit old. At least that was what it was like for me. But I still really love it because it's so funny. The main characters are just so good. You just want to I love them. That's all I'm saying. You know, Jujutsu Kaisen, I recently saw someone's hot take of how they're like, Jujutsu Kaisen is just like fighting and there's no actual story, which I won't lie, I don't really care either way. I just like how most of the characters are hot. Like, it's a thirst trap and it was obvious, and I'm watching it for the thirst trapness of it, okay? I read fan fiction of it because I like how thirst trappy it is, okay? They give fan service and they give it good and they know who it's for. And so I'm okay with it. So yeah, it's also one of the animes I like. I don't go back and watch it ever again. Like, I'm not gonna go and rewatch the whole thing because I don't think I'm that interested, but it is fun to watch, you know, the first time. If you like all the supernatural fighting and like the protagonist becomes part of a world he wasn't aware of before kind of vibes, then it's definitely good. I like Fruits Basket for similar reasons, like all the characters that show up in front of you are quite hot, but also I really like the story itself. Fruits Basket has a very heartfelt story, and I like it for that. And I still haven't watched the last season, because I don't want it to end. So I've been like putting it off. But I think this year I'm finally gonna do it. Watch the whole last season and call it a day, you know? Okay, the time I got reincarnated as a slime is also one of my favorites. I actually rewatched it, so I can tell you clearly how much I love it. It's so good. It's very slice of lifey, but the plot is so good. I don't know how to pronounce the Japanese name of that anime after the time I got reincarnated as slime, but I do know what it's called in English. Okay? It's called Royal Tutor Haine. Do you know why I remember this anime when I normally don't remember animes at all? It's because of the name of the main character. It's Haine. And the anime itself is hilarious, so funny. Really fun to watch. The characters are very unexpected. Like, they're built in an unexpected way. Even the main character himself is different from what you would expect him to be. And that's what I think about this anime in specific is charming. It's peculiar. It's fun. I've rewatched it 3 times. Which is also why I love it so much, you know? Okay, then we have Psyche. I dislike watching it in the dubs. Because my sister watched it before me and she watched the whole thing in dubs. And it was really hard to follow, coming from someone who talks maybe just as fast as they do in the dubs. It's a funny show though. It's really funny. My nose is really itchy. I don't know why, but it's a funny show. It's a really funny show. But again, don't watch it in dubs. It's really hard to follow because of how fast they talk. And that's coming from someone who talks fast and is okay with talking fast and listening to people talk fast. But yeah, Heaven's Official Blessing. When I tell you I really love MXTX, I mean it, because I am an avid Wangxian fanfic reader. But I mean that like I consume it every single day kind of fanfic reader. I will wake up, read something that's not Wangxian fanfic, then read something that is Wangxian fanfic, and then move on with my day. And then before I sleep, I also sometimes read Wangxian fanfic. So you know I'm committed. You know that I'm serious. You know that I'm clearly a big fan. You know? So yeah, both Heaven's Official Blessing and Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation are really good. And if you haven't watched them, you should watch it. Because it's really good. And there's a lot more animes. I can list them out, but there's really quite a lot. And I don't remember the names of half of them, so I'm actually not gonna list them out. But yeah, I like anime. I like K-dramas. I like books. I like music. I like games, and I like food. And that's most of the things that people can like. So yeah. There's a lot of things that people can like, and I like most of them. The way that I say it. But yeah, I have a lot of varied interests, which just means that I flip from one thing to another whenever my brain decides that it wants to. I'd say that's a good thing sometimes, but it also is sometimes a bad thing, so yeah. You know, it's hard to keep my attention on one thing when there's so many things that I like.